Dome Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now heavyweight news. Heavyweight news. It's there in the heavyweights, coming up to the February 22nd fight between Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and Tyson lineal champ Fury. You know what I'm saying? So that's the fight we about to look forward to, right? So things been happening. A little something, something. We got Deontay Wilder, right? Pope giving him the title, names him the Ambassador of Peace. That's pretty cool. The Ambassador of Peace. And I thought, that's cool. That means, outside of the ring, you don't have to fear the DWI. You know what I'm saying? We know that's a Deontay Wilder incident. Or if you're in the ring and you're messing with the Browns bomber, then you're going to get a DWI. And that's a Deontay Wilder injury. It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You look at highlights from the heavyweights. It's funny, look at Tyson Fury highlights, one with some music to it, where you jam and Tyson Fury doing his thing. You're going to see a lot of behind the hands, behind the back, hands up, a lot of him being elusive. You're going to see a lot of that, right? Anthony Joshua, whole punch combinations, bam, bam, hitting somebody thousands of times. You know what I'm saying? But you're rarely seeing a punch and a dude hitting the canvas. You see a whole lot of them with Deontay Wilder highlights. A punch and the dude hit the canvas. Some people stood up. Come on, well, let's give Johann de Hoppus some love. Johann de Hoppus took a beating. Was up in there. And at that time, Johann de Hoppus was a bum. I remember it. I did videos about it back then. But yeah, he's a bum, right? Yeah, Tell that to Robert Hellenius, who he knocked out when Hellenius was undefeated. The same Hellenius that beat Derek Chisora, right? Hellenius ain't that bad. He got a couple losses now, but then he didn't. That's after them. A lot of fighters, So a lot of dudes he beat up went up to beat up some other people. Gerald Washington beat Hellenius too. Malik Scott beat Tony Thompson and dude from New Zealand. I forget his name right now. So, a lot of them fighters done something. I don't think everybody's gonna knock them people out. So that's pretty cool for Deontay Wilder to be getting some kind of love wherever it is gonna come from, because he deserves it at this point. You know what I'm saying? He deserves it at this point. Now, speaking of deserving something at this point, with Deontay Wilder, which we're gonna be stuck on this video, I think, is Alexander Usyk, right? Moving up the heavyweight division. If you don't know Alexander Usyk, he's one of the Ukraine Bring the Pain brothers. You know what I'm saying? Ukraine Bring the Pain. Alexander Usyk is undisputed cruiserweight champion, right? Go through boxing, y'all know what time it is, and there ain't nobody thought about nothing about undisputed. People get allergic to it, start sneezing, running, coming up with something. Promoters starts talking all kind of stuff. Sanctioned bodies get paid to start getting in people's way. That's what happens when undisputed happens. Nobody wants it. Alexander Usyk happened to be in that WBSS tournament with all them wonderful cruiserweights who got in that tournament, and awesome cruiserweights. Dorticus, Gassiev, brothers, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm talking serious stuff. Even Marco Hook was in there. Glavaki, who's a champion right now, couldn't even get in. That's how good them six was. One dude was 28 and 0, well, no, 28 and 1 with 28 knockouts. Now somebody had to clip him or he clipping you. It's just a tournament of awesome. And he came out of that going in every one of those fighters' backyard. If it was Berlin, if it was Latvia, if it was Russia, he went to their backyard and won those fights. And topped it off by beating Tony Bellew just for the mess of it in his backyard. That is forever going to be an awesome run, and I'll never forget it. I don't care what he does at heavyweight. It doesn't take anything from what he did, because I'm comparing it to the rest of them, and you're not seeing it. So therefore, boxing royalty. So we're going to see what he thinks. He got his pound for pound top 5, right? And Deontay Wilder's number 5. And that's just good to see from somebody in boxing, because as certain things that you're not supposed to say in boxing. They tell you, just don't say that, man. We're doing this and this is what it is. Don't say that. Like Canelo fight Demetrius Andrade for undisputed on September the 14th last year. With everybody's that's huge. That's extremely huge didn't happen. But people act like it's well, who was Andre and why? Like it was an undisputed fight for the marbles, an undisputed American uh, medalist, right? Olympian, undisputed, been wanting Canelo forever. That fight didn't happen, right? Nobody say nothing about it. So you ain't supposed to say certain things. And Deontay Wilder in the pound for pound is one of them, right? We gonna act like there's a weight discrepancy anywhere in those divisions, right? And someone in somewhere in those divisions, any one of them, pick them, is knocking out every single body they're facing for years now. Who? Where? What division? We're talking Canelo? Are you kidding me? Right? And with an average weight discrepancy of 25 pounds, I'm just putting that out there, right? Knowing there's probably one or two in his whole record that was lighter than him. Most of them heavier than him. And the ones that's supposed to be able to beat him, every one person that you think could possibly beat Deontay Wilder ain't weighing 219 or 215. He's going to be 250 to 270. Them the kind of guys you think could beat him. So with all of that, and the fact that people ain't in a rush to fight him, and everybody get knocked out, some of them one punch knocked out, that guy right there is number 5 on Usyk's list. And that's cool that Usyk got him there. Somebody to say it out loud, because Usyk is not a follower, guys. You're going to see that when we get to know this guy a little bit better. Usyk is a character. You're talking about a character. This is a character. But anyway, first was, his boy Loma, because Ukraine bring the pain. That's my boy. He's number 1, and that's the way it's going to be. He got Canelo number 2. For me, personally, that's just me. I don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm looking at what I'm saying, what's going on. And Canelo wouldn't be my number 2, but whatever. That's number 2. You can argue for Canelo. Hey, man, I fought Daniel Jacobs. Man, I went up 2 weight divisions and beat Kovalev. And just leave it at that. Don't tell you nothing else. Just leave it right there and just move on to the next one. So we're going to do that this time. So at number 3 is Terrence Crawford, right? You know, I'm not liking that. Terrence Crawford's supposed to be number 1. Because for the one that's number 1, he called Terrence Crawford suicide. When Terrence Crawford wasn't but 8 pounds heavier than him. What do you mean suicide? You can't do that? You the best fighter fighting him. So bottom line is Terrence Crawford. But okay, he got him at number 3. Then you got Errol Spence at number 4. Errol Spence ain't went no weight divisions, right? Errol Spence ain't went no weight divisions. And so, but everybody know that Errol Spence is all that, right? There's nobody since in boxing. The people in boxing, they'll tell you for the last 4 or 5 years, you've been hearing about Errol Spence from what you've seen and from what goes on behind the scenes in sparring, going back to Mayweather and before, right? Spence is respected, and look at the fights. You can be in a hard fight against Sean Porter. This is Sean Porter we're talking about. Who wasn't winning a hard fight against Sean Porter? Keith Thurman? Danny Garcia? It's Keith Thurman. If he come, it's gonna be a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. He gonna try to smother you, and he gonna handle his business. He can box too. So being said, I think that is a pretty good pound for pound. I ain't gonna just hate on it, right? That's what Alexander Usyk says, but I'm just focusing on someone saying what it should be. Because what Deontay Wilder is doing, I want to know. I'm looking at the cruiserweight division. Who's doing that right now? Usyk's gone, and he didn't do that. He outpointed guys, and he's the very best cruiserweight. Right? So it's not really happening there. Light heavyweight, Wojcik better be of. There you have one. Better be of getting people up out of there. There you got one right there. Better be of. But you go down the weight division, the super and middleweight, we have to discuss it. Golovkin ain't knocking out nobody if they're not junior middleweights, right? Golovkin can knock out a junior middleweight. That's what he's been doing. But he ain't knocking out no middleweight. Golovkin ain't trying to fight nobody he can't walk down. So he shouldn't even be in people's pound for pound. That's why I'm liking Uzyk's pound for pound list. So I think all in all being said, Deontay Wilder had a good little couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Because Alexander Usyk is somebody. Now make sure this is clear though. Alexander Usyk also says though that Tyson Fury will be the harder fight for him. Okay? So this is what we talk about. Make sure that's clear. We talk about Alexander Usyk, and he's supposed to be, small and this and that. He's gonna beat up a whole lot of big dudes, and he has not lost. He figures out a way to win. You know what I'm saying? Who cares how it's done? You know, if you win an ugly, whatever. If you consider that to be ugly, but he's winning. So, you know, he's like Tyson Fury would be the harder fight because bottom line, he's not going to knock out nobody. Tyson Fury is very tall and he's elusive. You know, he's thinking Deontay Wilder. If I stay off that right hand and I'm skillful enough to understand how to do that, then you know I can probably get in there against him. Maybe he don't have good left hooks. Maybe he's not as elusive. You know, things does that he sees, but he don't seem scared of nobody. And that's Alexander Usyk for you. But back to Deontay Wilder. Usyk got him number 5 pound for pound. I think that's great to see people say it like it should be. And the Pope says he's the ambassador of peace right now. So what that means is he's the ambassador of peace. It's a pretty good week, man. Congratulations. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.